Hey guys, welcome to Digit.in, and what we have for you today is our review of the 43-inch Nokia TV. Now, Nokia entered the TV space in India with the launch of a 55-inch TV. They then launched a 43-inch TV and subsequently a 65-inch TV as well. What we have for you today is our review of the 43-inch TV. And before we get started, we'd like to let you know that if you want to stay up to date with the latest from the world of technology, you can subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you know when we upload a new video. Now let's get started with the review of this TV. This is a 43-inch TV and it is a 4K TV with support for HDR and Dolby Vision. All this you get at a price point of about 32,000 rupees. Now, from competing brands, you have the likes of Thomson's, Kodak, and many more offering 4K HDR TVs between 25 to 29,000 rupees. And for a few thousand rupees more, is the Nokia a better option? Well, that's going to be a little hard for us to tell you because we haven't reviewed any of those other TVs, but we are going to try to judge this TV on the basis of its value for money proposition at about 32,000 rupees. Now, kicking things off with the design of the TV, it's pretty simple. It's standard as to what you'd expect, and it does come with that nice unique stand which was present on the 55-inch TV as well. It holds the TV in place. It's different. It's kind of a more central position thing, and as a stand, tabletop stand and the television alone, it works really well. Where it doesn't work well is if you want to put more things below the TV. So if you're going to put your set-top box below the TV, you want to have a gaming console out there, you are going to have to move things around because this isn't like two traditional feet on the side where you have enough space below the TV to put a set-top box or a console. You actually have to work things around, and also the stand is a little in front of the TV by a couple of inches, so by an inch or so, so you have to actually make space to have at least that much depth on your entertainment center, which means you might have to work things around. In my case, I just had to keep it on this table, which was fine. Now, the sound of this TV is also powered by JBL, and we will talk about the sound in a second, but just know that they are front-firing speakers in this nice strip at the bottom, so you may or may not need a soundbar. Let's talk about that ahead when we talk about the audio. Now, talking about the picture quality, this TV is in 4K. It supports HDR, it supports Dolby Vision as well, and for the most part, if you're going to watch Dolby Vision content from platforms like Netflix, you are going to be happy. The panel on this TV is an ADS panel. It's a derivative of an IPS panel. It has a maximum brightness of 300 nits and it does not have any dimming zone. So what this means is if you're going to watch content which is in darker environments, the entire panel is going to dim itself and it's going to look darker than you'd like. The good thing in this television's case is that some of the darker sequences and content in Dolby Vision content, like let's say Altered Carbon, which we watch a lot on this TV, sadly the show has not been renewed for a third season, but that's a different topic. Anyway, Altered Carbon out here is the fact that the dark sequences do look a little darker, and when we switch to SDR, at times we do get slightly better looking images in the not so well lit situations, but it isn't a deal breaker for this TV like it was on, let's say, the Realme TV that we reviewed some time ago. On this TV, the Dolby Vision content, even in a relatively bright room, is fun to watch. It's watchable, it's good. The HDR10 content from a platform like Amazon Prime Video, well, that's not the same story. So on Prime Videos, if you watch Jack Ryan, there are a couple of sequences which are really in the night and you do lose out on some of those details, and when you switch to an external source, you actually do enjoy that better in SDR. Now, speaking of SDR content, 1080p content, if you're going to connect a set-top box, watch your soap operas, this TV is actually really good. It works quite well for everyday TV viewing, and there is actually nothing to say against it. The picture quality is bright and vivid. You can even manage to watch a couple of movies and really enjoy them, especially the stuff that's in SDR, which is quite a big catalog of streaming services and of, you know, your regular broadcast channels as well. So those content look actually pretty good on this TV. When it comes to gaming, now we did connect our Xbox and play a bunch of games on this TV, and we also played Batman Arkham Knight, which is a game that's set in the night. It's got a really nice city in the darkness and it's in SDR, so we wanted to see how good it looks on this TV. And honestly, if you know where to look, you can find flaws, but generally if you just sit back and play a game like Arkham Knight or even Assassin's Creed, which is in HDR, or Forza, which is in HDR, or Gears again, which is in HDR, gaming on this TV is fun. We did not find any of the warm tint issues we found on some of the other TVs. Yes, Forza, if you race in the night, sometimes it can get a little dimmer, but that's nothing out of the ordinary that we've seen on budget HDR TVs. The gaming experience was actually good. Now switching to game mode on this TV, put the backlight down to about 80%, and you might want to bump that up depending on the conditions of the room that you're playing in. So if you set up a nice dark room, you might be okay with the 80% backlight setting. So yeah, even though the Dolby Vision content on this TV is good, the HDR10 performance is quite mixed, and gaming performance is acceptable and good. SDR and regular TV viewing on this TV is absolutely great. Moving over to the UI, it is Android TV through and through, voice controls. It just works like any other Android TV without any complaints. It doesn't have any skin of its own like patchwall we've seen on Xiaomi or OnePlus's Oxygen Play. It is pure stock Android, and it's actually pretty good. We like stock Android, it works. There was not one point where we had any problems with this TV's UI. Coming to the sound, now the sound is powered by JBL, and honestly I actually enjoyed watching a movie or two from this speaker on this TV. I mean, it of course lacks the thump of a room shaking movie experience, but as television speakers go, these were quite nice. I mean, the dialogues were clear, sound effects were clear, music was fun to listen to, and I was saying this keeping in mind that these are TV speakers, and you think, oh, I've gotten a TV and now I should upgrade to a sound bar. Well, you can work with these TV speakers for a really long time before you decide to upgrade to a soundbar. So it does get the job done a lot better than some of the budget TVs that we've seen. Moving over to the remote control. Now, this is a place where the world is usually quite divided. A lot of people don't like the traditional format. They like the more Fire TV stick remote clones, which are minimalistic. I am actually indifferent towards the style of the remote control that you're going for. What I prefer is the convenience of the buttons, and as you can see, if you hold the remote like this, you are going to get all the buttons that you actually need to reach to, which is your volume, your assistant, your hotkeys, and even the navigation quite relatively easily. It also doesn't have a very symmetrical design. As you can see, it has kind of a arching design out here. The distribution of weight also isn't bang in the center, it's a little towards the bottom, and this gives the remote control a good grip. I really enjoy remote control with good grip. The buttons are a little more clickier than we've seen on other television remotes, which is nice. They're rubbery, so they have a good impact when you press them. So the remote control's quality and its construction is something that I'm really happy with. It's convenient, it's great. Again, the only problem I have is the mute button is way too traditional right up top here. It should be somewhere closer to where the volume rocker is, so most of your controls get taken care of out here. But apart from that, it's a good remote control. But answering the $1 million question, or rather the 32,000 rupee question in this case, is whether you should buy the Nokia 43-inch TV or not. Well, that honestly depends on what you're looking for. I mean, one more thing that I'd like to mention before we go is you can control the HDMI 2.0 or HDMI 1.4 feature from the settings. So let's say if you want to watch a particular movie that you think doesn't look great in HDR, you can of course go and use an external source like a gaming console or a Fire TV stick or any other streaming device and switch it to HDMI 1.4, so it gets recognized as an SDR source and you get the SDR implementation of the movie or content that you are watching. So that's another good thing. So coming back to the 32,000 rupee question, it is more expensive than other budget offerings. That is there, but then you are getting a Nokia TV for that price, right? You're getting that brand of Nokia. We would like to take a look at the Kodak and Thomson TVs that are priced a little cheaper because they boast of having higher peak brightness on the panel. Now, just having higher peak brightness doesn't mean that their HDR performance will be better, because there are other things like the way the color calibration is done that also makes a difference, which we would like to see. But there are options available at a cheaper price point. What the Nokia TV brings with it is a unique stand depending on how comfortable you are placing it on a tabletop or if you're going to wall mount it. It does have a decent set of connectivity options. The Dolby Vision performance of the TV is kind of decent, but the HDR10 performance left me wanting more. The SDR performance and everyday television content viewing on this TV is actually pretty good. The UI is smooth and fluid with voice controls, no problems there. So it all boils, and the sound output is also fairly decent, much better than some of the other budget TVs that we've tested. So it all boils down to whether you are okay paying 3,000 to 5,000 rupees more than what the competition is offering for this TV. And your purchase decision should ideally be based on the kind of content that you watch. And if you are still confused about a 43-inch TV, you can check out our list of the best TVs to consider in the 43-inch screen size on digit.in. We're going to leave you at that. If you have any more queries, you can let us know down in the comment section below. We will do our best to answer them. And for more from the world of technology, you can subscribe to digit.in. We will catch you in another video. It's goodbye for now.